The problem that so many women have nowadays when it comes to dating men is that when they will get into a fight with their partner, they will refuse to take any accountability or any of the blame of the problem, and they're going to put all the blame on their partner. And what this does is this creates resentment from both sides. Because if you as a woman are constantly only blaming your partner for all the things that go wrong in the relationship, and you're never taking accountability or apologizing for the things you might do wrong, then that relationship is going to fail, because the man is going to feel unappreciated. He's going to feel like you don't care about him. And frankly, he's going to feel like he's wasting his time with someone who doesn't actually really love him or respect him. So do what you need to do as a woman and take the blame, take the accountability, and make him know and tell him that you want to fix it with him and that you love him. It's not that hard.
For the past couple of weeks, me and a few people have been having these conversations how there's a lack of attractive men in a dating pool. There's plethora of beautiful women who take care of themselves. They put effort into their hair, their outfits, and their physique. While a lot of men do not do the same thing. They kind of just work a 9 to 5 and just sit and watch football. I digress. But that conversation, well, those conversations just unlocked a memory in my head. So it was probably maybe 2 years ago. I was just out and about in the bars, blah, 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 with a few friends. Some guys came to approach us just to talk. And mind you, this man is out of shape, okay? Like beer belly and all. Proceeds to ask me if I think I will be fat after pregnancy and out of shape. Then he follows it up by saying, I cannot be in a relationship or marry a woman who will get fat and out of shape after pregnancy. Sir, you look like you're 36 weeks pregnant and you can't even get pregnant. Anyways, I looked at his belly and I was like, you really asking me that question? And I proceeded to tell him how I wouldn't date someone who doesn't have a six-pack. And man, did he get upset about that.
And the pictures circling online made it look like it was just lame as nobody was dancing. All the girls were just sitting on the side. And guess what? They just shut down after one night. And you want to know why? Because nobody purchased one bottle of alcohol.
Everything women have is because men allow it. The WNBA is a perfect example of the duality of man and the dumbassery of women, right? Because in the WNBA, they lose money every single year. The only reason the WNBA exists is because the NBA, the men allow it and continue paying them for no reason because they're not making any money. Women are the queens of up. They go into male spaces because they feel they should have a right to be in those male spaces. And then once they get in those male spaces, they realize, oh, this means I have to work. This means I have to spend money. This means I have to lift weights. This means I have to do something I didn't want to do. So now I shouldn't have to do that because I'm a woman. No, I wanted to be in a male space. I wanted to be in the military. I wanted to be in the police force. I wanted to be a construction worker, but I shouldn't have to do as many sit-ups or as many push-ups. I shouldn't have to spend money on alcohol to keep the business running. I should just be able to go into the club every time I want and just experience life for free. I should be able to do what I feel like, and I shouldn't have to worry about that. No, men, I don't need a man for anything, but it would be nice if those men kept those clubs open, even if they're losing money, because I want to have fun. Like, women are quite literally mentally deranged. Women are basically children and men are basically parents. You know when your kid wants to play in the kitchen with you and they want to grab the knife and cut stuff up too, but that's too dangerous. So you go ahead and get some plate for them to around with so they don't hurt themselves, but they can still be a part of the group. Yeah, that's what men do for you. And pretty much everything. Like, oh, well, you can't really actually do it, but here you go. We'll sacrifice so you're able to feel like you can do it. Unfortunately, in this society, playing pretend isn't good enough anymore. So now women feel as though, no, I should be able to hold the kitchen knife. But the only problem is, if a man gives up that kitchen knife and she hurts herself, she's blaming you for giving her the kitchen knife. If you're a dyke and you're going into the male setting, then that means if there's a club, you got to be the one buying drinks, baby girl. Yeah, it's a lot harder to have fun when you don't have a man providing your ability to have fun, huh? It's a lot harder being in a man's world when you have to actually do what men are expected to do.
Whatever happened to men going up to women? Whatever happened to it? We want that. Bring that back. Can we bring that back? Can we start a movement to just like approach the person that you think is cute Because that's what's lacking nowadays. Okay, people are missing opportunities from left to right. You could have met your soulmate. Okay, that could have been your soulmate right there. But instead you're like, yeah, I'm good.
Why do modern women struggle with accountability?
Because that would mean that they have to acknowledge that they don't bring value to the table. That would mean that they have to acknowledge that all they have to offer is beauty and intimacy.
So,
and that's unfortunate.
What is a modern woman in your opinion?
A modern woman of 2024 is a woman that seeks attention and validation more than respect and authenticity. It is a woman who is entitled to whatever it is that people have around her. It is a woman that takes things for granted, is not appreciative, and kind of just has a high level of expectation with low level of give. You know, she's a taker, not a giver. So that's my opinion of a modern day woman. And I really feel like if you really sit down and understand that all you have to offer is a pretty face and yeah, the kitty, I mean, that's unfortunate. That's empty. You know?
I mean, but a lot of people are sold that the kitty is the most valuable thing of a woman too. That's probably why they're
giving it up for a meal at Checkers.
Not kidding. Checkers.
She ain't going to Checkers. She ain't even going to Cheesecake Factory. She wants Boa. She wants Steak 48. She wants Nobu. So $100 instead of 40.
Damn.
Still a lose if you ask me.
I would not be happy as just somebody's wife and having their kids. Like, there's just so much inside of me. And I decided I'm going to pursue this career that has no guarantee.
Based in the African American community, where our marriage rates are like 30%, they said by 2030 it's going to go down to the teens.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is that knowing that, how do we reverse engineer it? What you said is so true. A lot of African American women are out earning the male counterparts, and they feel like I can do bad all by myself, or I don't need you at all. So now women are saying, I don't just need a man that's a provider, because at first men were the providers. Now they're saying, I want something that men are less likely to give, which is emotional intelligence. Yeah.
When I was young, I was sold the Cinderella story. Like, oh, you meet somebody, Prince Charming. So I did what we recommend girls do. I went to college. I went to Hampton University, got into a relationship. After college, we got engaged. And I remember, it's so funny. My mother, everybody was happy. My daddy said to me, he was like, you are not ready to be anybody's wife. My dad knew. He said, you are so ambitious that you're going to have to give up everything of who you really are to be this man's wife.
Her father, who probably outside of her mother, knows her best. A father will know beyond the Disney fairy tale that creeped into her head about what marriage is or what it's about. A father would know if she has the behavior, the characteristics, the integrity, the morality to be that person, a wife in reality. Again, not in Disney.
He's going to work every day. I have no financial issues. Like, he has a reliable career. Probably still has that job with that company at a higher level now. I moved in with him, so it was no extra bills. All I had to do was just get married and pop out some babies. And I said, this is not my life. This is not what God birthed me to become. Bet on me. And for a long time, I remember I used to be like, I chose my career over love. And the truth of the matter is, I didn't choose my career over love. I chose who I am. So I'm going to say, this is like 20 years ago. And it's like, okay, 20 years later, you're still not married. You're still not a wife. Would you make that same bet? Would you make the same decision?
And I was hoping coming.
Absolutely, I would. I would have made it a day earlier.
Is that a component of the falling marriage rate is because women are choosing themselves as opposed to choosing family. But the issue is, while choosing themselves, while they'll go on a path to increase the amount of money within their bank accounts, they're also losing some of the fundamental factors that men of substance, of value, find attractive. The feminists and their programs funded by the government have won because they've taken the psyche of young ladies like this, fed them lies in order to increase GDP, gross product. Is this truly your nature, Kendra G, or were you nurtured into this?
I think there was a woman that's talking about a guy, essentially, basically in so many words, he was coming up to her and, you know, he wasn't in the best shape himself. And she was put off because he was saying, I wouldn't date a woman that was pregnant and he had a beer belly. I get that. You know what I mean? And they're saying that all men are doing this, but all men are not doing it. What's wrong with, nothing's wrong with men. It's just that guy. You contrast that with, there was a man that was being interviewed recently. This man was like, oh man, yeah, I'm a Christian. I work out. I'm a model. I train at a gym. I think he said that he's a trainer or something like that. I was in good shape. I was about 28 years old. Had a lot going for him. She asked him to list his hobbies. Pretty good hobbies too. Well-rounded brother, I would say, to be honest with you. These are the type of men that are out there. But y'all will sit up and include men like that, and the normal, everyday, average man that wouldn't even be in the vicinity to say something like that. That's the problem that men are having. Y'all keep on thinking, and that's why you miss the men. Y'all keep on talking about how terrible men are, but then go to ones that are the worst. It doesn't make sense.
Men are being scolded a lot right now from something called mental overload. While this is very true and very valuable, there are a lot of creators who talk about this, so I want to talk about the men's version of mental overload, which is emotional overload, and it comes from female partners onto men. This is where the female partner expects their man to support, empathize, provide a safe space for the emotions from the day, their traumas from the past, all without reciprocating back a safe space for the man to release his emotions, his energy, his traumas. He's also expected to predict, mind read, basically guess at how she wants things done exactly as she would do them, or else he's gonna get scolded for it and knocked down because she feels it's common sense and maybe he's never done it before, or he doesn't do it like she would do it. Many men feel like they can't be intimate or vulnerable with their partners because they're going to get scolded, they're going to feel emasculated, they're going to feel like their partner doesn't like them anymore, simply is unattracted to them anymore, simply because they showed some emotion. So there are definitely a lot of times in relationships where men will rely on women for these simple tasks that maybe women feel are common sense, but we also don't talk about the emotional burden that women put on men and expect them just to take without reciprocating that same space and energy back. Partnership is understanding we don't have equal skill sets and abilities, but complementary skill sets and abilities, and creating safe space and understanding for.
This is how I know that men do not get a fair shake in family court. They're 10 times more likely to commit suicide than women during divorce. That means that for every 10 men that commit suicide during divorce, only one woman commits. That stat right there tells me that men cannot get a fair shake in family court. That stat right there tells me that women know that they can ruin their husband's life like that. They can take his kids. They can take all of his finances, take his freedom without an issue. That's why 70% of the divorces initiated in the U.S. are initiated by women, because they know the laws. They know that at a drop of the hat, they can say whatever they want, and they can take every single thing from their husband. So men have no other recourse but to unalive themselves. It's very sad that you can find those stats online and nobody talks about it, and nothing's being done to change it.
Yeah, so I want to know what you guys think about this post. So the first girl said everybody's boyfriend got money till it's time to pay the tab on girls' night. And then KT said, my man ain't paying for nobody but me. Y'all can go to. Everybody's boyfriend got money till it's time to pay the tab. Yeah, and if my man has money, his money's not rated E for all of you guys. I love my friends wholeheartedly. I've been out with my homegirls and her husband. They don't pay for me, y'all. I pay for myself. Are there times where, like, I'll be like, hey, a round of shots, and they'll be like, oh, a round of shots, but it's not every single thing. When we go out to dinner, we all pay our own tab. I've never in my life expected my friend's man to pay for me. That's weird. I don't know what it is with you entitled women. It's giving broke. Like, I can see your hands out. Spare change, please. Like, are you kidding me? And I would never, like, if I'm sitting with my homegirl and my man's there and stuff like that, and she decides to ask him to pay the tab or even make fun of him or say anything, if you think for 1 second I'm going to side with you, that's the last time we're probably ever going to speak, and the friendship would be over something so small because you opened your dumb mouth. You should never part your lips to call a man broke or say anything crazy because he doesn't want to pay for your tab. Where's your man? That don't make no sense. You don't beg another woman's man for change. That, oh my God, bro. These are like handouts. I don't know what it is. Like, a lot of the women in this generation, they talk a big game about men all the time. But then when I start seeing the things that you guys say, it's giving brokey. Like, you guys call men brokey. You guys call men all these names. I'm starting to think it's projection. Maybe we should start looking in the mirror. Because if you don't have two nickels to rub together, why are we going to out to eat? And I know women are like this. Oh, I'm telling y'all, I have so many stories on this. I've been on a girls trip with girls before who didn't bring no money. Paid for the trip and that was it. Didn't have no extra money. They expected people to pay for them. If you have this broke mentality, don't be my friend. I'm glad I don't have broke friends, but I'm just saying, if you ever have a mentality like this, no. It's one thing to be kind of cheap and budget your money and not want to spend money on dumb stuff like maybe going out to eat because you like luxury things and all that. Totally understand that. But asking a bitch's man for money could never be me. Sorry, my man's paying for me and him. And I want to get appetizers and dessert and a drink. With you added to that? No. I'm glad I don't have snake friends. I'm sorry, but if you ladies have friends that are making you feel bad about the way your man is and you listen to them, I'm telling you, you're in for a rude awakening and you're going to lose that man faster than you got him. Do not listen to your single friends that they're encouraging you to make fun of him or belittle him or, oh, he's broke, he's not going to pay for all of us. And you're sitting there getting peer pressured because you don't have a mouth of your own. I'm telling you right now, you're going to be the biggest fool.
This is how we know the tables have turned with the men and the women dating relationships. I've seen it, I've heard it. So for years we've been brainwashed that, oh, you know, stay down for your man, you know, ride our chick. Now we're not doing that anymore. And now you can see just how transactional men really are, because it's not my fault if you're doing nice things for me and you're getting confused as to why I'm not doing anything with you. I'm not doing anything with you because my actions are showing you that I don't want to be with you. And they're getting frustrated. So the same thing goes for years, how women were like, you know, doing nice things, all of the things. And the men were like still dangling that carrot over your head like, oh, well, this is why I don't want to be in our relationship. Well, guess what? Now all of them are fiending for a relationship with you. And we're just like, we don't even want to date you, let alone be in a relationship or do the other thing with you. So it's like, you see now the difference, and it's like, it's let the silence speak louder than the words. I don't need to say anything, do anything, make someone else feel more comfortable. If you want to be nice to me, you want to text, you want to talk to me, good for you. Doesn't mean that you're going to get anything out of me, because just because I'm a nice person doesn't mean that I'm going to be doing charity work because you think that you deserve something from me. The thing is, they think they have access to your body just because you're nice. It's not how it works. Anyway, if it resonates, like, save, share, and follow. I love you all so much. Comment your experience. I'll continue sharing mine. And only the girls, please comment your experience. I don't want to hear from the men.
Okay, let's talk. A lot of women want a masculine man, but then you all show up in the relationship acting like his competition, not his counterpart. You say you want a leadership, presence, effort, protection, but your energy blocks every single thing you say you want. So let me break this down real quick, because if you can't embody these 5 traits, you're not calling in masculine energy, you're repelling it. Number 1, receptivity. Girl, let him show up. Some of you want a man to lead, but you argue with him every time he tries. You want him to plan, but you reject every suggestion. A man doesn't rise where he's micromanaged. He rises where he's received. Second, emotional softness. Listen, hyper-independence looks glamorous on Instagram, but in real life, men don't fall for hardness. They fall for warmth. Softness isn't about crying in the corner. It's the vibe, the way you talk to him, the way you look at him, the way you open up without making him feel like he's walking into a fire zone. Softness doesn't make you weak. It makes you magnetic. Third, appreciation. Here's a secret men don't tell you. They notice everything you appreciate and everything you don't. You don't have to throw a parade. Just acknowledge the effort. Men are simple. What gets appreciated gets repeated. What gets criticized gets deleted. If you want consistency, you better recognize effort, because no man keeps pouring into a woman who acts like it's bare minimum. Number 4, emotional accountability. And this one separates grown women from emotional toddlers. Your triggers, your wounds, your past hurt, that's your homework. A man cannot fix pain he didn't cause. And when you throw emotional chaos at him every time you're overwhelmed, you're being irresponsible. Accountability sounds like, I'm upset, but I know this isn't all on you. This is my trigger, not your disrespect. Men don't run away from emotions. They run away from blame. Number 5, respect. The one thing that turns a man from I'm here for a good time to I'm here for the long term. Respect doesn't mean yes, sir. Respect his tone. Respect is not talking to him sideways. Respect is not emasculating him because you're annoyed. Respect is not comparing him to other men, like a TikTok trend. By the way, stop doing that. If you can't speak to him with respect when you're mad, he'll never trust you with his heart when he's soft. Respect is the entry point to his masculinity. Not beauty, not vibes, respect. Feminine energy isn't about dresses, makeup, or being girly. It's about your emotional posture. Your softness invites his strength. Your receptivity invites his leadership. Your appreciation invites his consistency. Your accountability invites his vulnerability. Your respect invites his commitment. And if you're not getting masculinity from him, check the energy you're giving.
And it's funny, and I'm glad that she talked about, there was a woman that was talking about, you have the emotional toll that men have to go through, right? And that's essentially what it is. Modern women don't understand that you come in and you dump a lot of stuff on the man, and the man has to sit up there and take it. He has to pull all that stuff. Some of that stuff, sometimes modern women come in, they be mad at other people, but they be taking it out on the man. It probably happens at least once a week. At least. And really honestly and truly, if it happened any more than that, the man would probably be in a state of depression. Because he has to hear, first of all, the woman she might start with dumping on somebody else, but then she's so mad and she's frustrated, she starts dumping on him and trying to tear him down. So a man has to take that. And then you got other women. That's what I'm saying. Modern women don't really understand, and they don't be caring. That's why you have, I think there was another lady further down the line that was talking about men coming, they want you now, but they're not doing this. I don't care. Y'all are not worth dating. Y'all ain't worth it. Y'all sit up here and say the stuff that, well, we're doing this and we're doing that, and now the men want us. No, they don't. No, they don't. Y'all probably talking about men that don't even care. Y'all talking about men. The men that y'all want don't care nothing about y'all. And y'all can sit up, well, I got this man that wants me. I got that man that wants me. So what? You don't want him back. So what does it matter? Yeah, we're winning this time. You're not winning anything. A trip to the pet store is what you've won. That's what y'all don't keep. That's what y'all understand. Y'all are in a bad spot. At some point, well, I got a house. Look at me with my money. Who the freak cares? Who cares about your dumb money? That's what y'all say to men. Stop leading with your money. Who cares about your money? Who cares about your car? Great. I'm glad for you. Happy for you. But I don't care. You're still a terrible person.
If you're a single man and you're looking for a girlfriend, not a date, a girlfriend, I came up with the best idea today when I was shopping at the Hobby Lobby on the lunch break, because that's where all the single women are. I mean, that's where all the women are. But if you go to Hobby Lobby, not during the week on a lunch break, those women are busy and we can't talk to you. But let me tell you something. You go on a Saturday, 9, 10, you go after 5:30-ish during the week. Listen, go to the Christmas section. Walk around and look a little confused. Don't be just staring at women. We're going to know what you're doing. But if you are in the Christmas section, you're in the decorations and you're looking just like a little overwhelmed, we're going to see you. Us single women, we see you because you don't belong here. So a lot of us would go up to you and say, hey, are you confused? Are you lost? Do you need help with something? And this is your time to shine. And you're going to say, I'm trying to decorate my house for Christmas, maybe for the first time, whatever. I need some ideas, or I'm not sure what I want to do. Do you have any suggestions? Okay, you have to ask the question. Men are afraid of questions. Ask the question. Listen, if you play your cards right and you have the right vibe, you may be on a date right then in the Hobby Lobby. She might walk around with you and help you pick out stuff. Okay, you may end up getting coffee after if you know how to actually talk to people. Now, what is important is you have to be committed to this and you have to buy some stuff. Okay? You gotta legit be planning to buy some stuff. You can't be like, I have $11, I can't buy any of this stuff. And trust me, Hobby Lobby stuff is half off. So if you can't, this is not for you anyways. I'm just telling you, I think this is the, you know how we always tell women, hey, go to Lowe's, look confused. If you're a man, go to Hobby Lobby, look confused. Report back, because I think this is the best idea I have ever had.
You know what's so mind-boggling to me?
We don't know, however, I'm sure you're going to tell us. Viewer discretion is advised.
Men fumbling women. And that is really a hard thing for me to think about in reverse. Like, it's very rare that I feel like, oh, yeah, she fumbled you.
The reason a lot of y'all think that is because y'all believe a woman's high level of attractiveness has a lot to say about her character, which is not true. One has absolutely nothing to do with the other, but y'all refuse to believe that because y'all looking at this woman and saying, wow, she's so beautiful. How could she not be a great person? Well, you'd be surprised. Not to mention, y'all also believe that that attractive woman is doing that man a favor by being with him. Not understanding that he had to be somebody in order to get with her, let alone he contributes to the relationship the same way she does. Just because you are the more attractive person in the relationship doesn't automatically make you the better person in the relationship. But I'm sure y'all don't want to hear that because then it would force y'all to look at some of y'all friends, close relatives, favorite celebrities in a different light. And actually have to do real work in trying to figure out what kind of character does this person hold outside of their amazing aesthetics.
Like, Jermaine Dupri was like, how y'all know she didn't fumble me? It was Janet Jackson, brother. It's Tiana Taylor. It's Rihanna. How do you have Rihanna in your grasp? She wants to be with you, and you dropped the ball. How, like, that just never will ever register in my brain.
It'll never register because, like I said earlier, you look at these women and their high level of attraction and you pedestalize them in a certain way, which in turn says any man that gets with them is lucky to be with them, not understanding that that man can bring equal or more value than they can. But because you don't find him to be as aesthetically pleasing, you automatically think that woman is the better person in said relationship. Now, their level of attraction and high level of success is not something we can ignore. Yes, that is definitely something very valuable in a relationship. However, these women were not dating bumps. They were dating highly successful and attractive men as well. Your looks and money is not what makes you a good partner in a relationship. It's who you actually are. And unfortunately, their career and the way they look can't tell us that. No different from how I thought Ben Affleck fumbled Jennifer Lopez until we actually got to see what kind of person she was. And only then was it like, oh man, I'm so happy Ben got away. Oh man, he dodged the bullet. Yeah, a lot of those highly attractive women be monsters. Now, I'm not saying Janet Jackson, Tiana Taylor, and Rihanna are, well, Rihanna's questionable, but that's a whole nother conversation. What I'm saying is the person you see on screen is not who you actually are dating if you actually get a chance to date them.
So it makes sense why some of y'all is fucked up. Like, you know how Cam Newton can't get over the Super Bowl? I understand why some of y'all is fucked up in the brain. Because y'all fumbled forever. There's no way to recover.
There's always a good way to recover if you're actually a good person in your relationships. And just going off the examples that you gave, the only person in the relationship is Rihanna. Janet Jackson is single. Tiana Taylor just got out of a really bad marriage and a relationship, which in turn tells me everybody has something to work on. They are not as amazing as you think they are just because they look great. But like I said earlier in the video, y'all don't want to hear none of that because it forces you to question a person that you are idolizing. And we know how much I worship these women. But you know what? Fortunately for you, you ain't got to listen to what I'm saying because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all get the change.
2025 is almost over, and I think my favorite part was watching women on the internet scramble, completely baffled at the fact that men don't want to date them anymore. Men don't want to provide for them. They don't want to take them out on fancy dates when he's only known you for 3.2 seconds. Women are baffled by this. Oh my God, have men turned? They're putting all their time into their friendships and not relationships. Well, I don't know. Maybe if women went on the internet every single day and saw men by the masses on their gender, on our gender, calling us pieces of calling us worthless, confused as to why they have to provide anything in a relationship, I'm pretty sure we would turn away too. I mean, we claim that we've left men behind, except women are using the male loneliness rate as a way to lie to themselves and say, look, this is proof that women are no longer dating toxic men. Really? You have 5 baby daddies and you think that women have just magically woken up to toxic men? The male loneliness epidemic doesn't have anything to do with women not dating men. It has to do with social anxiety, not having enough friendships, the suicide rate, but still, women made it all about them, trying to turn it around because they realized that men are fed up with their no longer interested, and so they said, you know what, how can I make this about me? Aha! Men are themselves. And I'm responsible. It's actually a disgusting world that we live in, but I love the confusion. I love the fact that we're gonna have an entire generation of 80-year-old cat ladies who are gonna date alone, and their cats are gonna eat up their body, all because they think that it's acceptable to pick the bear and hate all men. Like, can you hurry up and alone already?
So what do you think men did historically? Like, what do you think their jobs were? Like 1800s, what were your choices as a man to do as a job? Because, you know, you always talk about how women were held back historically. So I'm asking, like, what was life like back then?
Well, women
1800s.
had to stay home and men had to do all of the jobs because they didn't allow women to help them.
What were their jobs that they did? What were the most common methods of employment back then?
I mean, what do you mean? I mean, it's going to be construction, it's going to be medicine, it's going to be food production, it's going to be factories, it's going, like, the same thing that runs all of society.
So they had three choices: coal miner, farmer, factory worker.
Nothing else happened in society.
I'm not saying nothing else. That was the majority of how people were employed.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have this like rewritten history where you guys think that men just had these glamorous, fun jobs, but men did the difficult job. Men know that they didn't enjoy their jobs. Do you think of any guys going to a coal mine and saying, wow, this is my passion?
And again, who set that system up?
It's not about who set it up. It's how would the system run without it? They need coal. At the time, they needed coal. Like the same way now, somebody has to build the buildings. Somebody has to get the food. Otherwise, society does not run.
But it's the truth. A lot of men avoid divorced women and single moms. Not because they're bad people, okay? But because of the baggage that comes with it. Let's break it down, shall we? A divorced woman usually carries emotional scars. She's been through betrayal, conflict, failure, child custody, and often she hasn't healed from it. That pain doesn't just disappear. It bleeds into the next relationship. Men can feel that bitterness, that distrust, and most don't want to pay for what the last man did. Now let's talk about the single moms. It's not just about dating her. It's about inheriting her past. The ex is always in the picture. The baby daddy will be forever tied to her and her child. And no matter how great the guy is, he's never the first priority. Her kids will be. And they should be. The child should come first. But most men aren't signing up to be second place in their own relationship. It doesn't mean divorced women or single moms can't find love. That's not what I'm saying. But it does mean the pool is smaller. Because men weigh these realities before committing to somebody.
And also, if I get drunk, I don't count whatever happens while I'm drunk as part of my body count.
What's your body count?
My body count? I'd say like under 5.
Really?
Yeah. Honestly, there's a couple situations in which like I don't feel like they count. For example, like if I meet a fan and we decide to do content, I don't consider that part of body count. If I go on a girls trip, whatever happens in that girls trip, I feel like that doesn't count as a body count.
So if you get drunk, 5 guy,
Didn't happen.
So the body count only counts to her when she's emotionally invested in a situation. That means when it's someone she's actually dating. So every fling, every drunk escapade, every one night stand, none of those count.
If we say our body count is 3 or 4, we're lying. I know.
What's good, Joel? Not gonna lie, my philosophy on the whole body count thing, 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna ask you. I don't really wanna know. But if somehow it comes up in conversation one day, you tell me your body count, right? You can say whatever number. You can say your number is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can say it's 25. If I come to find out later that you were lying, whatever number you said, if I come to find out later that you were lying, we're done. We're finished. We're through. It's not even the number. It's not even the body count. It's the fact that you lied about it. Why are you lying? I can't do the lying. The lying is where I cut it. You know what I mean? So it don't even be the body count. It be you lying for real.
And, I think self-checkout really made a great point. Modern women, they always think that that men are fumbling them. They always think that men, don't matter if the woman have 10 kids. Oh, he fumbled her. It don't matter if the woman had 5 guys that she divorced all of them before. Oh man, she has such a beautiful heart, a beautiful soul. He really did fumble. No, he didn't. That man, a lot of these men out here, and they know it. That's why they stay away from dating. That's why they go into dating a lot more cautiously than they used to. Some of these brothers are going into dating cautiously to begin with. I don't run straight into dating because I don't know what's going on. I'm asking questions. I'm trying to make darn sure, because I don't have money to mess around with. I don't have money. Even if I did have money to play with, I wouldn't spend it on you because I don't want to waste my money anymore. And also, I'm tired of wasting my time just for you to come back. Oh, he fumbled. No, I didn't. I'm telling you right now, with you gone out of my life, I'm having a much more peaceful time. I'm telling you that right now. A lot of women don't understand that.
Men are scary and evil, and I want to be in a relationship, but I don't know if I'm sweating it that much when I realize that most men are evil.
No, funny, I'm gonna be so serious because some women genuinely have this sentiment, especially women like yourself that have never been in relationships before. And I think what you actually have right now is a fear of missing out. You don't actually have a desire to be in a relationship with a man. You know, those are two separate things. Wanting a relationship and wanting a man are not necessarily the same thing. Because out of a relationship, there are things that you get. You get empathy, you get companionship, you get love, you get a sense of peace, comfort, support. You want those things, but you don't necessarily want a man because you think men are evil. And why would you want something evil? The good thing is all of those things that you get out of a romantic relationship, you can have from other relationships. So you can get those there. But until you realize, why do you want a man? What do you think a man brings to the table that you would actually appreciate? That's a genuine question. And when you all are dating, you can ask the other person that question. Even women, ask men, not why do you want to be in a relationship? Ask them, why do you want to be with a woman? What do you think a woman brings to the table that is so wonderful that you want that? And honestly, if they don't have an answer, that is a sign. That is a sign that this person wants all of the benefits of being in a relationship, but they might not actually want you, whatever you bring. That's a red flag.
No disrespect to you when I say, okay? I think that sometimes some of y'all women really don't understand how territorial men are. That's biologically how they are. It's different if you were covered up, but baby, you got titty tape on. So yes, of course, a man who knows how men are going to look at you, knowing that there's going to be men who are going to be predators or going to pursue you, he's right for saying that. That's not meaning that he's insecure. He's territorial. That's a man's nature, and that's absolutely okay. It's your responsibility as his woman to understand his nature and to also have boundaries with yourself, knowing what you are exposing yourself to. I'm going to say this. I'm going to be quick. I'm so glad I can have conversations with my husband because I asked him, we had a deep conversation. I said, what is it about women that will make you not wife her? And the first thing he said, the way she presents herself. That's coming from a man. Men will take that. If you dress provocative, they're going to see you as an object. If you dress sexual, they're going to see you as an object. Stop calling men insecure. That is their God-given right to say, I don't want my woman to present herself out here because not only is she a representation of me, she's a representation of herself. I need to see how you see yourself. I know we always talk about women's empowerment. Dressing like that is not women's empowerment, baby. You can try it all day long. There's nothing empowering about that. Okay.
All right, freshly single men, you know, who find themselves single, they have absolutely sort of no idea how internet dating works. And it's just like an online supermarket for them. And they are outstanding by the amount of females there are. There are a lot of women on online dating that'll just be like, it's like better than Waitrose. I can pick any one of them. I can talk to any one of them and I can take them on a date and then maybe get spicy stuff. Well, this is the problem. None of them are like fussy. And I've sat here pretending to be a man on online dating to see the kind of women. There's so many beautiful women. Obviously you can wear, you know, nice hair, makeup, clothes. Women are just more beautiful than men, I think. But these men, they have like no age limit or anything. Say the guy is 30, he'll probably go, yeah, 18 to 50, anything will do. Women are a lot more fussy. I just thought I'd make my peace on that one with you.
You don't cook and you don't clean.
No, because when the default goes for women to cook and clean in a relationship, then I think that's also why so many people are struggling in relationships, because that's labor. So compared to women's labor, compared to men's labor, if he takes care of all the bills, it's still 5 jobs compared to his.
No, my husband does blue collar work, and what I do at home is nothing compared to what he does outside the house. jobs.
Okay.
And what does your husband do for work?
Oh, he does construction.
Does he do heavy machinery or is he more
Forklift, boom lifts, all kinds of lifts. Him doing what he's doing, coming home baked, looking like a freaking lobster. I'm not gonna complain about what I do at home.
And he
which
supports
is-
the whole family.
Absolutely. And all I'm doing is, what am I doing? Cooking, cleaning.
What if you were
get-
working too? Like, would you want him to also clean and cook too?
He offers, but I tell him, hell no, sit your down. Do not do a thing. You were just out there for like 12, 14, 16, sometimes 18 or more hours.
Oh, damn.
Why am I going to make him do all that? If it weren't for him, we wouldn't be in the building we're in. We wouldn't have the things that we have all around us.
Yeah.
So it's like they are literally the backbone to our society, building the infrastructure that we have all around us,
Yeah.
the technology and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, so I actually put my husband on that highest level of respect when it comes to the line of work he does. Because if it weren't for him and everybody else, where would we be?
Hey, wait, can I hold this for a second? Would you go on a date with somebody that you did not know?
Absolutely.
A blind date?
Sure.
What are you doing next Tuesday?
What's next Tuesday? I don't know. Nothing.
Do you want to go to Penny's?
Sure, why not?
It's that easy. Ladies, it's that easy. I have never seen a woman fail when she's approached a man. You understand me? Whatever man you think you can't get, guess what? You can get him. You could at least get the number. Have some faith. You know what I mean? She shot her shot on his video. He was interviewing her about something else. Who knows what? Who cares? You understand? Also, my boy, pull that hat down a little bit in the front. You out of control. But the fact that she still shot that shot in spite of that hairline, respectfully, my boy, respectfully, you know you out of control with that hairline and the way you holding that hat. But you're not hat fishing. She saw the truth under that, and she's still interested, probably because of your energy and your confidence, man. So do that. You know what I mean? Congrats and good luck to y'all. I definitely want to know how this turned out. I don't know what Penny's is, but it sounds like she paying. And you can't beat that. She shot her shot and she paying for the date? Come on, my boy. Good luck to y'all. What are y'all thoughts? Because my thoughts are, I love the game. I love the hustle.
Why do women have to prove their value, but men just have to show up?
I think it's the opposite. I think men have to prove their value and a woman just has to show up.
It depends on who you asking.
No, I think if you're pretty, you could get access to the parties, to the invite only, to the private yachts, to the billionaires club, just because they want to have you in the room. Now, we know what they want you in the room for, but if you're smart, you don't go for it. You work the room so that they invite you directly after. Whereas men got to earn the money, have the job, get the accolades, do the achievement in order to even almost have access to some of the things that she gets. Mm-hmm. So I actually feel like beautiful women get much more opportunities than men do. Mm-hmm. What y'all think?
It just depends on who you're asking.
Personally, I don't know the answer. I just feel like for me personally, I think that as a woman, I get more opportunities than a man because I think that men want me to be in the space, that they don't expect me to come with the character or the work ethic that I come with. And that's what keeps me in the room. What I look like might get me to the room, maybe if I know somebody, but what I'm built by or built of is what keeps me in the room.
New trend. Ask men if they would rather be stuck with a bear or Diddy. And it looks like they now understand the question. They're getting dumber. They're getting dumber. You can tell that there's absolutely nothing behind these eyes. The entire precipice of the original question was, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a random man or a random bear? People were using this question to try to make some rhetorical statement about how men are scary. But if it's a random man, you're most likely to encounter a docile, non-aggressive, man more than you're likely to encounter a Jeffrey Dahmer or a Ted Bundy. That's if we're using crime statistics or if you consider the fact that you walk past men every single day. In the original question, we don't know who the man is. You're telling us who the man is in this question. But even if we knew for sure that the man was Diddy, guess who I'm still gonna pick? I'm picking Diddy! Because either I'm gonna have to be extremely cautious with this man that I know is capable of dangerous things but can still help me in this survival scenario, or I'm gonna have to take him on, which I have a way better chance of doing against a man and not a bear. If the entire point of the rhetorical statement is that you don't know what men are capable of and you'd rather bet on yourself rather than some other person, then you would have to apply that to women as well, because women are also unpredictable, which would literally defeat the the point that you were trying to make before. I can't do this anymore, dog. I'm retiring. I'm retired.
Well, isn't that an interesting question? So since some men have difficulty controlling where their eyes go, they shouldn't be in charge of countries? But I find that to be very interesting. Again, we have another individual blaming all men for the actions of some and insinuating that that makes them unqualified to lead. Well, if we're going to be on that note and being that petty, well, we could also say that there's a lot of women that can't control not only their emotions, but their opinions that come out of their mouth, and they put some of the most interesting things out there on social media for everyone to see. And honestly, that doesn't make a lot of women look good. So if we are going to judge all women just by the same standards that we judge men on the actions of some, then why exactly would some women be advocating that they're even remotely capable of leading?
I mean, like you said, modern women just get dumber and dumber. Would you rather be in the woods with a bear or Diddy? Diddy. I would rather be in the woods with Diddy. Diddy and his entourage? Maybe not. Maybe not, because who knows what's going on. Yeah. Who knows what Diddy's going to be bringing? What security? That would be an issue, right? Who knows what they got going on, right? But Diddy by himself? What is Diddy, like 5'9", 5'10"? I think I'm gonna be okay. I think I'm gonna be all right. But that's what y'all don't understand. And this is what modern women are saying. They don't really think from the perspective of reality. They think from the perspective of being delusional. All men are dangerous, this, and this. Diddy is in jail. Diddy went to jail for his crimes. You know what I mean? Obviously, some of those crimes, I didn't think they were going to get him on some of that stuff, just because how are you going to prove that? And some of those other people, whether they wanted to cry and boo-hoo about it, in my opinion, they were in there. Oh, I'm so sad. You got the $10,000 that hit the, okay. Reservations at Ruth Chris tonight. 7:00 is good for me. Oh, you're gonna send a car to pick me up? Okay. That's what the folks are doing. That's what some of the people are doing. Right? But modern women, you have to understand, you're living in a fantasy world. This is the real world. I want a man to act like this. I want a man to understand that. Fantastic. A man understands a lot more than you ever know. But a man only understands that because he's living in a world of reality, not delusion. Y'all are sitting up here talking about all men are dangerous and all this other stuff. It's not the case statistically, or even without statistics. In darn near any experience, you're gonna walk by 100 men, and maybe that 101st man does something weird or says something weird. And even at that, let's say this man says something that's creepy. There are not a lot of men, statistically speaking, that will actually physically put their hands on you. And even more so, there are not a lot of men that will, statistically speaking, literally harm you and misuse you and, sexually misuse you or whatever.